So we're going to start today in a seated position, please. So if you've got a cushion, that might make it more comfortable. If you don't want to be sitting on the ground for our first part, then you could sit in a chair just for the first short part of the class for our little warm-up. So coming into cross legs, please. So you could grab a cushion off your couch or whatever you've got nearby. If you're fine sitting straight on the floor, that's all good too. So just get yourself comfortable. If you are in a chair, make sure your feet are flat on the floor and that you're sitting upright, not slouched back. And just resting your hands somewhere on your lap. Maybe have a bit of a kind of wriggle to get comfortable. So hands either resting in your lap or on your knees, whatever feels best. And even closing your eyes down or just softening your eye focus ahead of you. Just a chance to settle in here. Feeling yourself dropping in. You might start to feel a little opening around the hips. Sense of lengthening all the way up through your spine and out to the crown of your head. Letting collarbones broaden and shoulders fall away from your ears. Beginning to feel the fullness of your breath as it moves right out into the rib cage. So really wide breaths today. Letting each out breath drop you in a sense of sinking into the ground. And each in-breath fills you, broadens and opens your body. So with a sense of groundedness, we're also exploring space in the body. Just a couple more breaths. Really try and focus your attention. If there are any distractions around you, anything else going on in your space, just try to focus internally for an inward experience. And we're just going to loop the shoulders a few times. So lifting your shoulders up, gently draw them back and down. You can close your eyes again if you want. Lifting up, back and down. Just keep that going. Make it as big as you want. Let's start to bring more movement into it. So we'll scoop belly in, let the spine round out, and then lift the shoulders up, lift your chest, lift the chin, pull shoulder blades back and down, and we'll go around again. So scooping in, lift, shrug your shoulders up, and let them fall back and down. And eventually settle into a nice neutral position again. So we're just going to tip the head over to one side. Maybe kind of move the head a little just to find a position that feels good. Lengthening down the side of the neck. Let the shoulder fall away so we're not shrugging it up. And over to the other side. Just take your time. No sudden movements. Maybe just move to feel that really good stretch. And then we'll tip the head down. So chin towards your chest. Bit of side to side movement if it feels good. And then lift, tip your head back, let shoulders fall away. Bit of movement from side to side. And then reset into a neutral position. Floating arms up, open out, turn your thumbs back and down, scooping forward, lift, open, so palms up, scoop. So rising with the in-breath, just feels natural to breathe in as you open. And we'll do it all one more time. And float your arms down. All right, now bring your hands over to either side of your knee and lean in towards the thigh. So if you are sitting on a chair, same thing applies, we're just adding a gentle twist. We'll hold this for a few breaths. Let your shoulders feel heavy. You might feel a stretch down the side of the body. And then over to the other side. Just leaning in. Notice what you feel here. Might be a big stretch, might be something further down in the hip. And then sitting up, open arms wide and turn over to one side. Bring your arm outside your thigh, float the other hand down. Very gentle twist, thinking about moving from the middle of the spine and turning across the upper back, and even turn your head to look behind you. And then opening wide again. Turning to the other side. So we want to keep the hips level so that we're not putting all the twist into the lower back. So think about twisting from the middle and upper and top of the neck, of the spine. All right, and then turning to face forward, just wriggling the fingers, circling wrists in infinity shapes. It's like a figure 8 on its side. And then reversing the direction if you can. And come on over to hands and knees, please. All right, just give the legs a wee stretch out. And then plant your hands firmly. Moving into cat-cow sequence, so belly in, rounding out to your cat. So really scooping in. And then lengthening through. So just like what we did with the shoulders before, where the shoulders move up, back and down and lengthen the chest forward. And then rounding out. Coming through, drawing shoulder blades down and towards each other. Round. And move through. Let's just do one more. Scooping in. And lengthen through. And tuck your toes under, send your hips up. You can keep a little bend in the knees, but try and push your hips right back towards the heel or towards the legs so that we're not here. We want to be really high with the hips Pressing firmly into the hands, and think about bringing your ears in line with your biceps so that we're not dropping through, but we're not here. Pull your weight back. And then bend your knees deeply, come high up onto your toes. So lift the heels really high and float forward into a plank. Push into hands to lift up and back. Coming forward. So try and come really high onto your big toes so that you're not spinning the heels out. You want to be right up onto the big toes. Last time, coming forward. Now drop your knees, release the feet, and mount your body down all the way to the ground. Roll the shoulders up and back and lift the chest. Then bring feet up, knees wide, and sit back into a child. So we'll relieve the hands here, just easing through wrists, circling one way and the other. And let's do that again. So planting the hands, tuck toes under, hips high and back. Bend your knees deeply, push hips back, and then float your way forward to a high plank, up and back. Coming forward, keep coming all the way so your shoulders are right over your wrists. Back one more time. Coming forward, drop knees, melt your body down. Loop the shoulders up and back, lift the chest through. Bring the knees a bit wider, sit back to your child and ease through wrists. Okay, plant your hands again. Tuck toes under, push back. Now bend your knees, crouch. This time we're going to step the right foot through. So spring the right foot all the way up by your hands and drop the back knee down. Just release the foot, sinking in. So make sure that you can push down into the heel so that we're not in this position with the heel lifted. We want to really bring the weight all the way down into the heel. So here you might start to feel a stretch right up through the front of the hip. Take a moment to ease into it. And then we'll plant the left hand and lift the right arm. Now keep rotating your upper body. Stretch your top arm back. Bring the hand down. Tuck toes under, push back. To the other side, so the left leg from a crouch, spring the left leg through. So you can take a couple of steps if you need to get it all the way forward. So you can drop in. Take a moment here, just a couple of breaths to ease into it. And let's add our twist. So plant that back hand, left arm lifts. So really open up across the chest and keep revolving. Pull the top hand back. Touch down, tuck toes, lift the knee off and step back. We'll do this one more time on each side. So pushing back, bend knees, spring the right foot through, knee drops down, open a twist. Touch down, step back. Left foot. Drop and open. Now this time we're coming into a forward fold. So knee lifts, springing forward, step feet under your hips. So you can have the knees bent as much as you need to. Lay your belly over your thighs, tipping from hips, and let your head drop. Loosen up the shoulders, loosen up the arms. Maybe sway from side to side, holding elbows if you like. Spread your toes open and press down into each part of the foot. So into the ball of the big toe, the ball of the little toe, and right back into heels. Coming to a halfway lift. Release down again and spring your left foot back. Doesn't matter which one because we're going to do both. This time we'll keep the back leg strong as we add our twist. Keep rotating open. Touch down, stepping in, forward fold. Halfway lift. So nice flat back here. Releasing down, this time right leg back into your lunge. So sinking in and then take the twist. So turning towards the thigh, keep the back leg really strong, then rotate your chest open and pull the top hand even further back. Okay, we're going to do that one more time on each side. So stepping into our forward fold, halfway up, release down, step the left leg back, anchor in, then add the twist. Touch down, step in, so spring off the back foot, halfway lift, fold, right leg back, drop in, anchor your pose first, and then roll your body open. Forward fold. So you can hold on to your elbows if you like. Okay, let's slowly roll our way up to standing. So curling through the spine, scooping in through the belly. Roll all the way up. Loop your shoulders up, back, and down. Let's do that again. Looping up, back, and down. All right, take a moment here to settle in, spread your toes, drop into your feet, broadening across your shoulders, slightly drawing in through the belly, arms fall at your sides. Big, easy breaths. All right, with your next breath in, float arms up. Reach all the way up, send your fingertips high. And with the out breath, mount your body down into your fold. Step the right foot back into a lunge. Plant hands, step both feet back. Now scoop your belly in and roll your body forward, all the way forward into a plank. From your knees or your toes, mount your body down to the floor. Lift your chest, shoulders pull up and back. Tuck toes under, push away. Now you can either walk your feet up to your hands or you can jump them in. Forward fold. Curl your way up to standing. And continue to rise all the way up. Just take it at your own pace. Really stretch on up. Soften knees and mount your way down again. This time we'll step the left leg back. Step both feet back to your down dog. Roll your body forward. From knees or toes, ease your way down. Lift the chest through, so pull your shoulder blades back and down. Up and back, push away. Either walk your feet to your hands or bend knees and take one big jump. Let's curl up a little bit slower this time. Curling up. And once you're standing tall, continue to reach arms all the way overhead. Now really lift and lengthen, pull back if it feels good. And release all the way down into your fold. Just let yourself hang out here. Holding onto your elbows. Just let your head hang loose. Maybe sway from side to side. All right, now release arms. We're coming down into a squat. So your first choice is to have your feet a bit wider and rest up on your thighs. So that might be as low as you can get. If you can come lower, bring your feet a bit closer in. Hands to your center. You might not be able to get your heels on the ground, so in which case you can lift them off. But if you can get them down, let's try to really plant the feet and start to sink the hips lower. Okay, maybe you can come even further down. Maybe you need a bit of support by bringing your hands to the floor. Whatever variation suits you best. But try and push your knees out wide and try and lengthen through the belly and lift your chest. So naturally the shoulders are going to want to curl forward, but we're trying to broaden the body open. So just to show you again, you could be here. You could be lower with your heels off. You could have hands on the floor, or you can plant your heels and push knees out wide. Now let's just stay for a few more breaths. Really trying to actively pull the shoulders wide. Easy breaths. Let's make this our last breath. And then come and take a seat. Find the easy way down and bring the soles of your feet together. So you could be sitting on a cushion again if you choose, or just sitting straight on the ground, whatever feels best to you. Hands behind. Pull the shoulders wide, lift your chest. Plant down into the palms of your hands. You can stay here, or you could lift your hips off the ground. Now keep lifting the chest proud. So try and lift out of the shoulders, let the knees fall open. Tip your head back to a comfortable position. One more breath. And with the out breath, come and take a seat. Hold on to your shins and just ease your way forward. Tilt the chin, nice long neck, leaning in. And feel your breath really widen into the ribs again. So big, broad breaths. Okay, sitting up, extend one leg out long, doesn't matter which one, we always do both. Tuck in the other foot. So if you do want to be on a cushion, if you find it more comfortable, you could be here. Leaning in towards this long leg, hands either side. Just moving your chest forward, still keeping a lot of space through the torso. If your knee feels uncomfortable, you could bring it further forward. So always adjust to suit yourself. You might even have a cushion under it. Okay, come and sit up again. Reach your arm out wide, turn your shoulders and circle up and over. So trying to broaden across the chest, lengthening up through the side of the body. Let's now make our way to the other side now. So switching legs over, foot can be tucked in close, further away with a cushion under it or whatever suits you. Leaning in towards the long leg, float hands either side and ease your way down. Coming up, reach your arm out wide and come on over. Lengthening up through the side of the body. So still moving these bottom ribs through and rotation through your torso. And releasing out. Come and lie all the way down onto your back. Okay. So curling all the way down. Pick up your knees. One hand onto each knee. Just hugging them in towards you. Take a moment to drop in again. So let your head completely rest. The shoulders, the hips. Might take a bit for the back to feel comfortable, flat on the ground. You might even want to rock from side to side a few times. And then plant your feet down. So shuffle them in so that heels are below your knees, and then lift your hips off. So you could clasp your hands behind your back. You could hold onto your hips if you need that bit more support. You could keep your arms on the floor. If you've got your hands clasped, try and climb right up onto the backs of the shoulders. So we're pulling shoulder blades towards each other. And we'll just hold this for a few breaths. Make sure there's no discomfort in the lower back or the hips. Lifting chin towards the ceiling, so create a bit of space around the throat. Keep driving down into your feet, holding your hips high. Take one more deep breath in. With your out breath, release arms and roll all the way down. Pressing your lower back into the ground, and finally let the hips land. Arms at your sides and drop knees over to one side. Come over to the other side. Rocking back and forth. And then bring knees up to your chest. Maybe a bit more movement again. And float arms out wide, depending on how much space you have. If you want to bend your elbows, that's fine. Lower knees all the way over to one side and let them come right the way down. Now you can keep your knees stacked like this, or you could float the top leg long and hold under the leg or over the top, whatever is more comfortable. Keep the collarbones broad, and you may like to turn your head to the opposite direction if it feels good. Come on over to the other side, so bending the top knee up. Roll all the way across. Drop the knees down. Make sure you've got space. And either keep them bent or extend the top leg. And relax your body down again, sinking in. Stay here for one more breath. Then coming back up through center. Plant one foot. Right, it's making space. Plant one foot. Flex the other foot, hook it across. Pressing your knee away from you. You can stay here or you could reach through. Interlace behind the thigh, but we still want to actively press this knee away. Make sure your head and shoulders are still relaxed down. So if the shoulders are curling forward, let them open and drop back. Now land that bottom foot and extend the top foot high. You might keep a bend in the knee depending on your flexibility here. Interlace behind the thigh. Make sure you're not lifting the hips up, so we want to keep them anchored to the floor. Shoulders wide and gently drawing the leg towards you. So it can be bent, but try and push your heel up towards the ceiling. So we're making this a really strong stretch. We're not just passively pulling it. We want to really drive the hips into the floor and push the heel up. And let's switch sides now. So other foot lands, flex, hook it over your thigh, press the knee out wide, stay there if you want to, or reach through. If you find that you're curling off the ground, try and push the hips down. Let's move into our hamstring stretch. So land the foot, interlace hands behind your thigh, push your heel up and the back of the hips down. So it's like we're sending energy in two different directions, up towards the foot, down towards the ground. Begin to deepen your pose with each out breath. So you might find that with each out breath, you can draw the leg just a centimetre closer. Now easing your way out. Turn the soles of your feet together and let knees fall open. Arms just relaxed at your sides, shoulders drop. So think about broadening across the collarbones, opening across the chest, slightly sliding your shoulder blades towards each other. We'll hold for a few breaths here. And we've still got a few more minutes before we get cut off at the end of the session because we have a 40-minute limit. So just a few more minutes. You can stay in this pose if you're comfortable, or you could bring your knees up and rest them together, or stretch out long if that's good. So wherever you are, get yourself comfortable. I'm going to come to seated just so that I can make sure you can hear me clearly. So you could sit up if you wanted to as well. All we're doing here is training our attention to focus on what's right here in this present moment. Your breath, your senses, what you can hear, what you can feel, and your thoughts and emotions. So noticing the content of your thoughts. If it's something that's distracting you from the present moment, then try and redirect perhaps to your breath or to your senses. It's all about training our attention. Finding calmness in the chaos. Having this place of stillness, peace and clarity, no matter where you are. Now we'll begin to move slowly in your own time, finding your way up into a seated position. Just take your time getting there. Until finally you're sitting in a way that's comfortable to you. Taking a moment to feel your posture. Have a bit of a wriggle if you need it, if you need to kind of shake something out or adjust. Feeling the parts of you that are anchored on the ground and the parts of you that are light and open and spacious. And let's all take one more breath together. Floating arms open and high. Bring hands together. Slide down your center line and land at your heart space. Namaste, and thank you so much for sharing your time with me. So good.